blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have...
Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly King, better known as the Detroit Atheist Queen. And today, I will be interviewing Tina Marshall. This is Secular Activism Unfiltered. Hi.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm a little cold, but I'm okay. I'm going.
Yeah,
How
this
about
weather
you?
is so iffy.
Yeah,
Little sinus congestion a little bit.
You're up there in Detroit. I'm down here in
Yes.
Charlotte, so
Yeah.
it's definitely gotten colder here, which I'm not complaining because it's better than 102. It's better to
Now,
be in the shade.
the first thing that I like to ask all of my guests is, were you ever religious?
Sure. When I was a kid, I grew up in the AME Church, African Methodist Episcopal. You know, we heard all the stories, went to Sunday school. I was in youth group, heard all the stories about Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark is one that just fascinated me because it just didn't make sense. But we heard all the little fables, the Old Testament fables. And I went, youth group was more of a way of meeting other kids, meeting boys. And then, I don't know, our pastor left, he got transferred out. And that's when my skepticism really started to roll in. I was always a little skeptical, but it just really started to take over. And by the time I got to my late 20s, I kind of knew that
Bullshit.
Yeah, BS, that is for sure.
Okay. Now, many people, even though they walk away from religion, they just don't go to church or something like that. But what made you decide to do more than just not be non-religious, to want to have more of an activist part in it?
Well, I think having a kid, I had a kid late in life. I had my child when I was 41.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, my one and only. She, because I raised her to question everything, by the time she was 4 years old, she knew what was up. She didn't believe.
Good.
Yeah, she didn't believe in Santa Claus or Tooth Fairy or, Easter Bunny, none of that. And then she said, I don't believe in God either, because it's all you. You're the one putting the presents under the tree, and you're the one that's doing the eggs. And I said, well, yeah, you're right. You're right. So at that point, I knew that I wanted to be an example. That I want to like be a good person, show her that you could be a good person without having to go to church or to having to believe in anything. And I wanted to kind of like indoctrinate her with, like our parents do, indoctrinate her with the fact that you don't have to believe in the supernatural, or don't believe in the supernatural, but you can still be a good person and do good things. Yeah. And once we moved to the South from New York City, I really, because it's different down here.
The Bible Belt.
Oh, let me tell you, she was in 4th grade when we moved down here, and she was really like, "Oh, mommy, can I believe in God?" And I said, "Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, you can believe in God. Which one?" And she says, "What do you mean, which one?" I said, there's like over 3,000 gods out there. You need to pick one. She got mad at me because she thought I was pranking her. And I said, no, it's true. And I said, if you like, we can go to a different house of worship every week, every Sunday, but, or Saturday. I said, but that means you have to get up early. We have to get up like at 8 o'clock.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's just, yeah, she said, nah, but yeah, and it was from there that I decided I was following the philosophy of humanism, but then also after I met Mandisa, because I thought I was the only Black atheist out there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and then I met Mandisa at a Sunday Assembly conference.
Oh, so you met her in
person. I met her in
wow,
Atlanta at the Sunday Assembly conference.
Okay.
And I just said,
a Black
another Black atheist? What? So yeah, and then it just snowballed into different things from there.
Yeah, I went on the ACA back cruise in this past August, and it was another Black woman. When she saw me, her mouth just dropped. She was married to a white man, but she saw me. I feel so good.
Yeah.
But she didn't live nowhere near me, like Texas or something like that. But
yeah,
the fact that she saw me, she was so happy.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, there's other ones. But I remember as a child, even though I questioned, I didn't have anybody to talk to. So the people that I talked to was religious as well. So of course they're going to give me religious answers. Even as a kid, I'm like, well, why did this happen? Because I went to Catholic school. Ooh. So I was asking questions. I got suspended a few times for asking questions that I asked.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember,
go ahead.
I was in 2nd grade.
Oh.
And they asked us to draw a picture of what Jesus would look like. How do you think I do Jesus?
As a Black man?
Yes, of course. He was a Black man. And my mom, my grandma, now I'm lighter, but my mom, my grandma are darker. So I do them like my grandma, because that's who raised me. And my uncle, who was instrumental. And they was like, so she had my picture up in front of the class and asked the class, what would you give this picture? And it was like 1 or 2. Somebody said 0. That hurt me really bad.
Was it
I'm not a great artist anyway.
Was it white kids in the class though?
It was mixture. It was a mixture of kids. But even the Black kids said that. Because they all do white Jesus.
Yeah. Well.
And I was like, if he born in Africa or Middle Eastern, how is he white?
Why is he white? Yeah, exactly.
I didn't understand it as a kid. But even though I questioned even then, I was almost 40. I think I want to say I deconstructed maybe 8 years ago. It'd be 9 coming up. The 2017 probably my 10 years. So I didn't really. So from like 19, that's when I really was like, fuck this. I don't believe it anymore. So it was like 2019
Mm-hmm.
when I finally really was like, that's it. So I spent like a year. That was Kobe hitting around that time. Soon after, so I would just watch ACA shows and other things like that. But the Women of Color Conference was the first time that I actually was around actual atheists. So you were one of the first real life atheists that I actually met in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, that
Oh,
was the first. Yeah, so you guys were the first one. That was the first event. I never met anything locally or anything.
oh, not even with the white groups in no.
Nobody. That
Oh,
was it. You guys were the
that was
first
a
one.
great that was a great introduction
It
then.
really was. It was phenomenal women. I
Mhm.
was really happy to have met you, and you
Oh,
really have showed me love. Even though I will say this, when she asked me to be the affiliate leader, you guys not knowing me very well was skeptical about me, which is understandable.
well, look, I I'll tell you, I am very open with what it's like to start, an affiliate or just well, to start anything.
Yeah.
But particularly it's tough with Black non-believers. And I'm not I'm just very open. I'm just like, it
Are
is
you sure
hard.
she gonna? Are you sure? Because after what they just did to you, you gonna have somebody else come in this group. Which I understand your thoughts and your opinions about it. Because I probably would did the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, but no, but it's not even that. It's just starting a group and then being consistent with having something every month
Yeah,
and hoping that people are going to show up.
and
I've
they
been doing
don't.
this 10 years and I've planned meetings and stuff where nobody shows up.
Yeah. Sometimes I
Nobody
come up and 15 people show up. Another time, nobody shows
nobody
up.
shows up. And it's just like, y'all, if you're not going to come, can you go into the meetup and remove yourself, from the
Correct.
RSVP? Because I go by the RSVPs on the meetup, and then I go on the RSVPs in our private Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at least with Facebook, I can go to each and every individual and talk to them. Are you coming for sure? But with Meetup, it's difficult to use Meetup to reach out to people, because I've had people that have RSVP every single time and never show up
Yeah.
and
Oh,
never.
this one lady. Oh, she's real good in my group about that.
Mhm,
I think she showed up one time.
mhm. I've had people that have never showed up, and it is so disconcerting. And it's just, you know, I, I said on that last podcast, I said, I'm tired. I've been doing this for 10 years. And every month I'm trying to think, okay, what should we do? Should we do something different? If we do
Yeah.
something different, are people going to really come? Plus the fact that when you do something different, it's going to cost you, you
Yeah.
know?
So I'll be like, well, let's go bowling or something like that, something different. But it's gonna cost maybe $15. And
Yeah.
then but they need the money in advance. Because the last
Yes.
time when I tried to pay up front, y'all just paid me, then they didn't show up.
And then they don't show up.
So
That's
then I
why
pay a
whenever
couple hundred
whenever
dollars. Like that's a lot of money for somebody, a single person.
Yes, and so now it's just like, no, you got to pay me up front, and there are no refunds. So be sure that this,
Exactly. You ain't gonna show up. Yep, I ain't giving your money back.
yeah, be sure that this is what you want to do. Otherwise, you are making a donation to me.
Cause
You
all
know,
cause all they want is brunch sometimes. Like I'm tired. I love eating, don't get me wrong.
yeah,
I'm a heavier person, but sometimes I want to do something else. Why do we gotta just go eat all the time?
but you know what? That is the only thing that seems to motivate people. So I do different restaurants around town,
Yeah.
because anything else, like we used to do things like we would go hiking every
Oh,
spring.
that would be nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
we would go hiking. Like I wouldn't go, I don't have the physicality for it, but somebody else would head it up. And then
Okay.
he kind of fell back. So he
Okay.
doesn't do it anymore. But he used to lead, and there would be maybe about 10 people every time they would do the hiking. Another time we went to the gun range.
That would be a nice outing. That would be real nice.
That was, I mean, we had 15, almost 20 people come to that.
Oh, that was nice. Okay.
It was nice. And then afterwards we had, we went somewhere for some food and drink. That was fantastic. And then, those are some of the things. Like another time we were going to do escape room. Everybody says, yeah, let's do escape room.
That's what I was looking at doing as well. The escape room.
The day before, because you have to have so many people. And it ended up that it was only one person, me. So they canceled on me. And I was so grateful because I thought, oh no, what am I going to do? Because it's like $35, $40 a person to do it, and I'm just like, yeah, but we've done things like bowling, played pool.
Yeah.
What I know, there's something else we did. People always talk. Why don't we do this? And why don't we do that? You're going to put the money down for the deposit. Yeah. Are you going to do all the logistics? Because people talking about going to ski trips and
unless if you're going to recommend something, you ain't going to be the one doing the initiative. Then shut your mouth.
Yeah, we were going to go just before COVID. We were going to go to the Lynching Museum down in Birmingham, Alabama. Okay. We were going to do that, and then because of COVID, we couldn't go.
How far is that from you guys?
It's far. It's. I think somebody said it's a 12-hour drive.
Ooh, okay. I think it's a couple hours, but 12 hours.
No, it's you can do it, but yeah.
Like I want. It's 2 wineries in the Michigan area that is Black owned.
Mm-hmm.
One is maybe an hour away from us, right outside of Ann Arbor. And then the other one is in Kalamazoo, which is 4 hours, but it's 3 hours. I know it's halfway between us and Chicago. It's the halfway mark. Okay. So I wanted to do something. Me and Cynthia talked about doing something, collaborating, going there. But I'm like, that would be transportation, paying for the bus.
People could drive, if they promise that they're going to be there. That's the only thing, because then Saturday or Sunday rolls up and then, I don't know what people are thinking, but they just decide, okay, I'm not going to go. And you don't say anything to anybody. That's the other thing. They don't say anything to anybody.
Yep, so that's why you're going to get this money. We're going to go. We're going to go get the bus and maybe $50 a person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's going to be transportation there and back.
Yeah,
we might make a couple stops.
Yeah, and that's another thing though. We do try to do Black owned. We try to do as much Black owned as we can. But again, it's people gotta show up. And even when we like meet at little cafes and whatever, I try to have a subject matter that we're going to talk about. So we've come and talked about movies, like we had when Black Panther first came out, we all went to go see that. And then afterwards we went to have lunch and then talked about it. Sinners, we had.
Yes, I say you did something with that.
Yeah, Sinners. And we talked about Sinners. But whatever we try to do something Black oriented. But it's hard. It's hard. I know, like one of the other atheist groups that they're no longer around, but once a quarter we used to do like go visit a house of worship.
Oh, okay.
That was fun. One week, one day we went to Jehovah's Witness, because I'd never been to a witness thing. Another time we went to Elevation. That's one of those mega churches that's like that has the live band, with the guitar players and everybody's got the punk hair.
You're really feeling in the mood then.
Yeah.
Holy Spirit really begin to you.
yes. With the light show and all that. We went to that, and then we went to a Messianic Jewish Jewish church, I guess you would call it, or synagogue, and that was very interesting. So those are Jews that believe that Jesus was the Messiah. So they still
you don't get that a lot when it comes to the Jewish community. Yeah,
that's why they call them Messianic Jews. So Messiah,
Messianic
he was the
Jews.
Messiah.
Yeah,
So yeah. So
I don't. Only time I go to church is if I'm going to a funeral, maybe a wedding or something, and I really don't really want to do that either, because like we have a couple of Underground Railroad stations here, but they're all part of church.
Oh yeah.
So if you go on a Sunday, you have to go to service. And
Oh
and so I'm like, well, the only time people are available is on a Sunday. So I guess if we want to go, we would have to go to a church, to the service.
no. Oh no.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like, nope. I guess we can't do that. I went years ago, and I was a Christian, so I did go to the service because I was a Christian anyway. It didn't make a difference. But this was like when I was younger. Well, of course, I was younger.
Yeah.
But I don't think was I early 20s. I think I was. That's time I went.
Sure. Yeah.
But I went and stuff like that. It was cool seeing and stuff like that. But it's also one in Tecumseh, which is where the winery is. It's one near there as well.
Okay.
That Underground Railroad area station.
Okay.
But so not only are you the affiliate leader for the Shirley Group, you also are the founder of a abortion rights activist, which the name is right here. So explain, how did you get that started, and all the good stuff. Yes,
excuse me.
Oh, you're fine.
So it's Black Abortion Defense League, and I call it Battle for short. So about 5 or 6 years ago, well, first let's go before that. I had never really wanted to get involved in the abortion or reproductive rights activism. I never wanted to get involved because I knew it was white people. I knew it was like the white Christian nationalists on one side, and then on the other, that's doing all the escorting and defense work are mostly white women. And I just said, I don't want to deal with those white people. But about 5 or 6 years ago, some friends of mine, reached out to me that did volunteer work at the clinic, at the abortion clinic in town. Said, oh, can you come? Can you come? We have a shortage of people. We just need somebody to come and hold a sign. I said, well, I don't want to deal with that. You don't have to say anything to those people. Just hold the sign and direct cars in when they're coming into the driveway. And I said, they just said, just one day, please, please. I said, okay, I'll go. So I went, and then I never left. At that time, there were a lot of white men that were doing all the shouting and the yelling and all of that. And it was, again, mostly white women. It was, at that time, all white women that were doing the escorting and defense work. And then it was about 75, 80% of the patients, and still is, are Black, African-American women and girls. And
I didn't know that.
Yes, and that's practically at every clinic. That is it, and which is, I was absolutely mortified when I saw these white men and some white women screaming at our girls, at our women and girls, and saying that they're gonna commit, if they have this abortion, they're gonna commit suicide later on in life, and they're gonna, have mental health issues, and you're never going to forget this the rest of your life. Oh, they say horrible things. And they'll stand up there, put this Black Lives Matter. We're standing up for Black. I'm like,
no, you're not.
Yeah. Let me tell you, they out there, Black Lives Matter. And I'm like,
wow,
Black lives really matter. Why you vote for Trump? Why do you vote against ballot measures or issues that would actually help Black people.
Yeah, we
And I
got
always say, if it helps Black people, it's gonna help everybody, But nah, they don't want to talk about that. So, but yeah, they said, oh, they are a girl. They are a trip. They are a trip. So that's one side of it. Is that with the white Christian nationalists. They're going to do what they're going to do. And I mean, they would do things like try to intimidate me. They call the police. One woman body checked me in the middle of the street and I nearly fell over. And then the men, I remember a bunch of them surrounded me. Because I would bring my little chair and sit out there. They would surround me. And I'm like, I said, if you're trying to scare me, you can't scare me. I said, I remember saying to them, I said, look, I come from New York City and I worked on an institutional trading floor on Wall Street. And I said, let me tell you something. That's where the real white boys are. I said, not y'all. I said, no, we know that they don't like me. We know they don't like me. I said, but they're laughing at you too. They are laughing at you. You're just pawns. Oh, they didn't like that. But I mean, that's how I have to talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then on the other side of it, you would have the white women that are doing the escorting and what have you. And this was back then, but they were a trip too. I mean, I would try and shout out to our sisters. I would say things like, hold your head up. You're not doing anything wrong. It's your body. You do what you want. You do what you need. We see you. We love you. Don't be afraid. And I would shout that out. And these white girls would tell me, could you please shut up?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos that you posted of some of the most obscene people.
Yeah.
And I think one of the worst ones was a Black woman.
Oh, she's out there every Wednesday. She's a trip.
She is? Okay, she had a video. I was like, man, she was something else.
Yes. There's two of them that come out. One of them is out there. She's a trip. She's out there praise dancing or what have you. But they're always like running up under the white people.
Drop my damn earring. Hold on.
You okay?
I'm good. You can talk.
Yeah, running up under the white people, just doing whatever their bidding is, and it's so embarrassing. But yeah, they so it's on both sides. But I think since I became a member of the volunteer group there, I started Battle to bring in more Black faces, because I just found that some of the white women out there are not culturally competent to talk to the patients. Some of the patients, they don't want to have anything to do with white people. That is. So people white girls walk up to the door and they're like, to their car, and they go, I don't want to talk to you. So I can walk up, kind of be like auntie, and say, hey, sissy, I'm just trying to check you in. We're not part of that group out there. And there's a trust there. So I try to bring in more Black faces to do escort work and to do a defense work, because you just want, whenever you're in a white dominated area, it's nice to see a Black or brown face.
I agree with you totally, wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And you're already there, you're fearful, you're scared.
I feel funny when I'm the only Black person around somewhere.
I
don't feel comfortable.
I don't either. That's why I started Black Nonbelievers. That's why I started Battle. And Battle also tries to go out into the Black community to talk about abortion. Like, it's okay to have an abortion. It's okay. I don't care what these white people tell you. It's okay, But
in a sense, it's like, there's a lot of contradicting when it comes to that. Because here they are, they don't want you, the purity thing, but
Mm-hmm.
then the purity culture is a whole nother thing. But
Mm-hmm.
then they want you to be a certain way, and so. But if you, I guess how I'm put it, the guys want you to be this pure person, but
Mm-hmm.
then they want you to mess with them the first day you meet them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then if you happen to get pregnant, they don't want the responsibility, but then you got them mad because they have to they don't you don't want to get an abortion. If you do want to get an abortion, it's a problem too. So
Right.
damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it right, but
No, it's true. And I tell everybody, I quote this woman who says, everybody loves somebody that's had an abortion. You might not know it. There's so much shame attached to having an abortion that people don't talk about abortions. And that's what I see, especially in the Black community, and I try to go to like little, these little festivals and street fairs and what have you, like for Juneteenth and, for other, Black-led, Black-centered events, and they don't want me there. They always say, I said, can I get bring a table? We'll get back to you.
wow.
Yeah, it's deep because they don't want to talk about it. And when I try to talk to folks about it, they look on the ground, they're looking up, they don't want to hear it. And so now, I'll get invited by very progressive Black groups, the younger generation. They like for me to come bring the table, and I'll have some plan B for the girls. Yeah. So like I was at a thing just a couple months ago, and this Black pastor comes walking in.
Oh,
And, and he said he's Bishop so-and-so, he's retired. And, he went into all the Bible verses. I don't know the Bible. I don't know the Bible like that. I said, look, brother, here's the thing. You may, first of all, it's none of your business as to who has an abortion and why. It's none of your business. But secondly, I said, if you are, so anti-abortion that you're going to try and shame people into not having one, tell you what, I said, I could send 50 to over 100 girls and women to your house. Give me your address and I'll send them to your house, and you can take care of them. You can feed them. You can clothe them. You can pay their rent. You can pay their car note. He said, yeah, go ahead. Send them to me. Send them to I said, no, I didn't say talk to them. I said, they get that from the white people out on the sidewalk. I said, what did I say? You feed them, you clothe them, you pay their rent, their car note, and you take care of their kids too. The ones they already have and the ones that's going to be born, because you've talked them out of this abortion. And they're getting rid of SNAP on November 1st.
And that's the one thing. I've been a foster parent myself. I've fostered like at least 10 kids. I don't do it anymore because it's too much. But what would I have done without receiving those food stamps? Even with my own children.
Yes.
So they want to cut that out. And some of these kids are unwanted. And some of these foster parents only get the foster children, sadly, because of the checks.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a business.
It's a business. And I had an experience because I was low income and was struggling. Temporarily took my kids from me years ago. I was able to get everything cleared up, got them back and everything and got everything erased. But the fact they took them, but they gave them to a foster family who was getting a check, who was getting stamps and everything like that. They got more money than me. It's only gave me like $500 a month cash, but they was giving them like $400 per child.
Yes. It doesn't make sense. That's why they say that the system is broken. And I'm like, why are you giving?
And they specifically was going after Black communities in his area. They weren't doing it in the white communities. They was messing with the area with the most Black people. They were taking their children. It was
they give those Black babies
just like that, taking the children.
And they give those Black babies to white families.
White people.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get me started. Don't get me
So,
started.
and that's the thing. Here they are telling you, and then not only that, it's, I realize it's about control. They want control of everything.
Hmm.
You got these
Yep.
cis white men, and a lot of
Hmm.
these white women understand is that they don't care about you either.
No,
And they don't
no,
understand that.
they don't understand, or or they've talked themselves into, um, well, the Bible says that the man is the head of the household and he's the provider.
He wants you to be a slave too.
That's right,
And they don't
girl.
get it.
They
And I'd be
don't
like, are
want-
you serious? You don't understand it? They trying to take
Oh,
away birth control.
yeah.
So what does that mean? Take away birth control. So no pill, no shot, none of that stuff.
Hmm.
Plan B's gone.
Hmm.
No abortion.
Yep.
We're just gonna be running around having babies.
Hmm. Oh, let me tell you, I
That's
see
why a lot
some.
of women say, fuck it, they don't want to have sex no more. Which I
Right.
understand that.
I understand it too. And I see those people showing up with, 8, 9, 10, 12 kids. And I'm like, first of all, the poor woman having to be pregnant every year of their life, and then having all those kids. I know that they got to be mad that they're going to lose SNAP too. They won't say it
Yeah.
out loud, but they're going to lose SNAP.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yep.
And I'm like, how are you caring about the family? Pro-life? That's not pro-life.
Mm-mm. This is
That's not
pro-birth.
pro-life.
It's pro-birth. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
pro-life.
pro-control.
Mm-hmm.
It's pro-control the narrative,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I try to tell everybody, I said, and it's sad to how the system is, but we have to look at the history,
Mm-hmm.
and the back is that we would sit there slavery time and would get a family unit and they would snatch us up and separate us.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came to the time of when we would need help from the system, if you had any indication of any man living in your home, they would not give you anything.
That's right. They would take it away from you. Yeah. Yeah, since slave times, they've been snatching our babies.
So no babies, even the family, husband and
Mm-hmm.
wife, was they couldn't get married. We jumped the broom,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, but they would separate us.
They've been for centuries and still doing it. Still doing it to this day. And it's just oh.
But yeah, but it's hard, and that's why I'm not far as you, but I do talk about things like that, and I try
Mm.
to bring awareness to people. And I'm a mother of 5 children,
Mm. Mm.
and I have had a few abortions. One was from an assault.
Mm-hmm.
What if I was forced to have my assault, and it was a gang assault? I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And what if I had to deal with having that child?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had an abortion too. But speaking to an assault, one of those black ladies that come out there, she talked about her story of how she had been assaulted by 4 men when she was 13 years old, and her parents forced her to have that baby. And yet now here it is, I think it's like 30 years later, 30, 40 years later, she talks about it was the best thing. She's so glad that her parents forced her to have the child. And I just said, nobody should be forced to have a child. Nobody should be forced to go through a pregnancy. We all know, all women know who have had children, that pregnancy is not easy. And I said, nobody should be forced to have children, but no 13-year-old should be forced to complete a pregnancy. And she, because she's so indoctrinated, she can't see past that.
Yeah, I had a lady on the call show, one of the
Mhm.
call shows that was talking about abortion. I think she got pregnant at a teenage, and they forced her to have her baby and stuff like that.
Mhm. It's not,
Yeah.
it's nobody should be forced to go through a pregnancy. Nobody. And she is so indoctrinated, and she is so covered by Jesus, as she says, that she can't even see how wrong that was, how wrong it was. I said, they didn't even give you a choice. She says, oh no, there's no choice. There was no choice. I was going to have that baby. I said, oh, God.
But I remember like growing up,
Mhm.
I don't know if how it was, but they would, let's say if the person, the black community, if the person would have the child, they would send them down south to a
Right.
family. And then they
To,
would come back. Somehow the mother, who was the child, the baby's grandmother, would simply have a baby.
right. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when I was a kid. I remember, all the women, they'd all get together. Pss, 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 pss. And I remember they were talking about this one teenage girl. And finally, I asked my mother, I must have been around 10 or 11 years old. And I just said, what happened with so-and-so? Why are all y'all just talking about her? And pss, pss, pss.
Yeah.
Finally, she says, well, she had a baby. The girl was like 16 or 17. And I said, oh, and she wasn't married. And I'm like, and I'm just thinking to myself, because I didn't understand biology that well back then. And I just thought, I thought you had to be married to have a baby.
Yeah, I'd be
And
like, how'd she do that?
how'd she do that? I think I even remember asking my mom, and my mom just was just like silent. No sex talk, no, here. It's just like, I mean, times have changed now, but still, I just remember just all of those biddies just like psh, 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 talking about that poor girl. Yeah.
But that's one thing that I will say. My mom was a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and it was two girls that, well, more than two girls, but two girls that actually stayed with us because their parents put them out because they were pregnant.
Oh.
And then I remember years ago, my grandmother also let someone stay. These are teenage girls. She was a high school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one girl, my mom, the house that they moved out, but the house that they used to live in caught on fire, and that's where she was staying. And this was like November,
Mm-hmm.
and she was pregnant and didn't have no clothes because her clothes were too small for her because she was pregnant. And
Yeah.
my mom was like, "Come on with me." And
Mm-hmm.
I remember my mom bringing her to the house and let us know what happened. Do you mind if she stays with us? We already had a very small house,
Mm-hmm.
and she,
Mm-hmm.
do you mind if she stays with us? And I
Mm-hmm.
says, okay. I was like 9 or 10, and I can remember helping her because I would go with my mom to night school. She was night school, whatever. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And so the girl went to night school to kind of make up. Mom, you going to school?
Mm-hmm.
So she made sure to go to school, of course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember after she had the baby, I would sit there in one of the back rooms because mom was a home ec teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would sit in one of the back rooms and I would sit with the baby while the girl was able to go to her night school classes and other classes she needed to do. So that was my response, to help her out and stuff like that. And
That way
she's
they could
doing,
finish
yeah,
high
she's
school.
doing pretty well now. Her daughter actually, she had 4 other kids. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad she finally left the father. He was abusive, but she has 4 kids, and the older ones, the 3 of them have their masters from like Howard. So she did great from a job.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so just
Yeah.
because you have children at a young age, don't mean your life is over.
Right. Your kids can end up being very successful, but and that was her choice to have that baby and the subsequent babies after that.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I mean that's what choice is all about. That is what choice is. You have a choice, and I see some of these sisters come into the parking lot with their boyfriends or with their baby daddies, and I could tell that the men are coercing these girls. I mean, they are being abusive towards these girls, like sort of like you better have this abortion. I've seen them take their stuff and throw it out the car. The girl doesn't. I could. And
Yeah.
I always walk up to the car,
Let's
take
see.
the girl aside and say, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Do you want to have this abortion? Because if you don't, we'll get you back home, wherever home is." We have people that come all the way from East Texas, down in Florida, Tennessee. We get the whole Southeast. Are you, if this is what you want to do, you should do it because that's what you want to do, not because what somebody else is telling you.
That's what a lot of them do. Like, you can sit there and lay down with me, but then when the action of the baby occurs, pregnancy occurs, then you walk out.
Yeah, they
Leave it
and they
all on
act a
me.
fool.
And
They
then
act,
it's my fault. I should have chose better.
yeah, right. Right. And and all these young girls, I see them with the, I guess, the baby daddy, and the men are just like, and the men are just as responsible or irresponsible as the women. Because I know one dude came up, I shouldn't laugh, but he says, "Yeah, I got 10 kids with 3 baby mamas, and this will be number 11, and I just can't have that." And I'm just looking at him
Like, what is wrong with you?
"What's wrong with you?" And he goes, I know, I take responsibility for my actions, but I'm like, why don't these men just go have a vasectomy and call
And
it?
it's reversible for them.
Yes.
Sometimes in a few cases it may not be, but in most cases it's reversible.
Yes. And I'm just like, go get a vasectomy. Quit making all these babies that you don't want to take care of. It's just, I don't know.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it
I don't either. It's a
So,
man thing.
with your organization Battle, do you only have the chapter in Charlotte, or is there other chapters?
No, it's just Charlotte. I've talked to other people who said that they wanted to do other ones in their state or their city. And I said, go ahead. I'm not a person that I want our people to thrive.
Exactly.
I want our people to thrive. I want our people to win. And I'm not going to be selfish about it. I want to protect the name, of course, but so that whoever's running, if somebody should decide to run a battle in another state, that they kind of align with my values.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because you just never, did you hear what happened to Planned Parenthood Southeast?
No, I've not.
So
maybe I have, but
Planned Parenthood Southeast is over Georgia, I think Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. Their executive director quit. So they put in the HR manager as an interim executive director. And then they the board just gave her the spot, right? Just said, okay, here, run the thing. She is a pro-lifer. She is pro-life. She is anti-abortion. They didn't even know. They didn't even check. Oh, that Mother Jones did a whole article on it. It is crazy. She is pro-God, pro-life.
Wow,
and she's a Black woman. It's always,
because I remember when we was at the call that thing, oh my goodness, Dragon Con last year, but this past year. And so it was a woman that came on there, and Black woman, we were talking to her and everything, and so she was trying to bring up abortion, that it was wrong, trans was wrong.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, where are you getting this evidence?
Mm-hmm.
And trying to tell her, you know, the scientific reasons and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
that no, this child is just born. It's a parasite.
Mm-hmm.
In so
Yeah,
many words.
yeah, it
So I don't
is.
understand why you
They say that as soon as the
the
fetus,
heartbeat.
yeah, the heartbeat, that that means it has a soul. And I always argue, well, if you believe it has a soul, then so if the fetus is aborted, then that soul is going to go up to Jesus, right up to God.
Yeah,
So what does it matter to you?
exactly. But I just look at it is that you talk about all this for the, like you say, pro birth. I say pro control,
Yep.
because you look at it is that once the child is born, like we're talking about now,
Hmm.
we are um getting SNAP benefits. That's not only SNAP, it's Medicaid,
Hmm.
Medicare.
Yep.
Um, a lot of women use child care payments as well.
Hmm. Yep.
A lot of the people that have foster care get payments for these children.
Yep.
Is that going to get cut?
Yeah.
Probably so.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
The adoption subsidies.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even think
And I
about.
think they get like, I don't know how it was, but I think when I my children, it was like 700. When I got, last time it was almost 1,000 per child or something. It was like 70 per child that
Yeah.
you got. Plus you got food stamps for each child.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Then they have like vouchers and subsidies to help them get beds and clothes and stuff
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
go to different stores. You know, I
Hmm.
think last we got them, I think it was from like Burlington or something like that. And we
Hmm.
were able to get clothes, $200 voucher per kid to get clothes at
Yeah.
special time. That's gonna get cut out too.
I didn't even think about that. Ooh.
Work first. Oh,
Ooh.
another thing that got cut was like Job Corps.
Oh yeah. It sure
They
was.
helped a lot of people.
Yep. And that because they hate black people.
Yeah.
I try to tell white people that, and they said, "Oh, how can that be true?" It's true. Y'all don't want us to have nothing,
And I look.
not even a few crumbs. You don't even want
Yeah,
us.
and I tried to explain that, and I was like, just like Juneteenth, that
Mhm.
was a joke to me.
It was a joke to me too.
I said, pacify us. I said, we've
Yes,
been talking, and then Cynthia's more adept to talk about the respiration thing.
the
But
reparations. Yeah,
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 but I'm looking at it like, well, it's been so long they shouldn't get it. We should have been got it.
yeah.
Then when you find out they gave it to the slave owners, that's an
Yes, they
insult.
sure did. They
That's an
sure did.
insult.
Hmm. Oh
And
yeah.
then they want to cut out all the programs for us.
Oh yeah.
If it was up to them, we'll
Hmm.
be slaves again.
Oh, I think that's the goal, is to incarcerate everybody, and then you have slavery,
Yeah,
the 13th
exactly.
Amendment. So if they put all of us in jail, then they got slavery back.
But they're even trying to change the Constitution. Well, they changed the Constitution for the abortion, Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, Roe
So
versus.
they took that away.
Yep.
Why are they letting him get this much control is beyond me. I do not understand it at all.
Because it's white people running the show. I mean, it's been like these white women have been doing this reproductive work for a long time, and they act like they own abortion, like they own reproductive rights, even though there are black people that do think we might not be all outside, in the driveways and in the parking lot, but they're out there doing things on the administrative level and legislative level. But these white people, women think that they own abortion, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, you had 50 years to codify this, make this into law nationwide. And look what happened. Now nobody has it, or almost nobody. There's a still handful of states, including North Carolina, where we still have it, but nobody in the South, nobody in the deep South has abortion. I think Georgia has it up to 6 weeks. And I think so does
Sometimes you don't find out till you 6 weeks and beyond. Sometimes you don't know
Georgia,
because the
South
egg has to be
Carolina.
implanted. That's crazy.
Yes, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida. I think though they are all 6 weeks. Everybody else is totally banned. And I'm like, and then
I am
in
so
some
glad we
states,
have our governor because she really doing her best to implement a lot of rules and a lot of legislative laws so that
mhm,
when she leaves, these rights are not taken away from us
yeah,
in our state. I am so even though we live in a swing state, and
mhm,
once you cross, I'm gonna say 8 Mile,
mhm.
a lot of them are very MAGA. All
Oh
you
yeah,
see is the MAGA flags,
yep,
and
yep.
people don't realize how that is with Michigan. Like it is
Mhm.
a very racist state.
So was
Once you leave
California.
up,
You know what? So
yeah,
was California. So was New York. But
yeah.
but they're gerrymandered to be blue. And that's why those folks are so mad. But once you leave the big cities and go out into the country, you see MAGA everywhere.
Sundown everywhere.
Yes, yes, yes,
Sundown.
yes, yes.
And people was like, Michigan? I'm like, yeah. You
Mm-hmm,
go like to Howell, Michigan,
mm-hmm.
you better keep on going. Don't stop. For real. They don't play.
Yeah, Malcolm X once said, if you are south of the Canadian border, you are in the South. And I try to remind people of that all the time. Just because it's a blue state doesn't mean that you don't have MAGA all around. Hmm.
Yeah, they all around.
They are.
Yeah, because I know like with me, what's my train of thought? It was an incident and he was no longer on the board because he did not run for the board position because his board position was up. But I'm also the now the treasurer of Michigan Atheists now.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so we had I talk about this in another podcast that I had. And so one of the guys, the president was talking about how he went order some food. They didn't make it right.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to charge him extra for like more like peppers, green peppers or something simple.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, how much peppers am I going to get for this price? And whatever. So he ended up leaving, going to another place, getting the same thing exactly how he wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy was like, it must have been a DEI hire.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's always the fallback these days. But go ahead.
the president immediately, within a second, was like, I know you just didn't say that. I
Mm.
know you did not. And so then the guy ended up saying, well, why are you offended with that? And I'm sitting there not saying anything because I'm at work. So I can't really jump up and talk. But the president's handling it very well to be a cis white man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He
Well, that's
set him
good for him.
straight. Huh?
Good for him, though. Good for him, because a lot of them wouldn't.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
no,
Mm-hmm.
automatically. He was like, hell
Mm-hmm.
no. And then I ended up messaging. So he ended up getting mad he ended up talking to him later on, like in private. So he was like, I don't understand. Nobody got mad anyway. I said, I was very angry. He's like, I was joking. It wasn't a fucking joke to me. I'm a black
Mm-hmm.
woman.
Mm-hmm.
So that really was offensive to me. He was like, well, I'm sorry. I didn't know that offended you.
I wonder if he would have thought it would have offended a white woman.
Well, the white woman was offended as well, too.
Yeah.
There's a white woman there.
Sure.
I don't know if she's still in the stream, Tamara, but she was offended as well.
Mm.
So yeah, it offended her too.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering if he had been in a room full of white women, whether he would have said the same thing. That's all I'm saying.
But it was mostly cis white men as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was the only, it was me and her, the only black woman, and the white woman was the only one that so he thought he can get away with it.
Mm.
So he's no longer, so we had the election this past weekend. He did not run this election. Mm-hmm. So he is no longer on the board.
Mm.
And we were like, good.
Right.
We can have the group better. Get
Yeah.
you out.
Yeah.
Those old boomers,
Mm-hmm.
late Gen X's
Mm-hmm.
who
Mm-hmm.
have those stereotypical thoughts and ideas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It
Oh
needs
yeah.
to change. Now,
Yep.
now, I'm not saying all of them are like that, some that are not.
Yeah.
But a
Yeah.
lot of them have that attitude.
Oh, so they so
They
do.
don't want to change the beliefs. And a lot of things I changed in my beliefs, such as my opinions on trans people. When I was a
Mm-hmm.
Christian, I thought differently. I wasn't extreme. I thought like some of them think that if you part of the LGBTQ community, which I consider myself queer,
Mm-hmm.
they want you dead.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you trans, that's even worse.
Yeah.
And that's sad. And even as a
And
Christian, I didn't want anybody dead.
dead, right.
I didn't understand.
Well, it's just like some of these states are passing these laws about abortion, that if you have an abortion, you should be executed. They want you dead. It's just, it's crazy. These are crazy times.
Yeah, we're gonna end soon. But in a lot of people, and I can't remember where I saw it, but people don't realize, and it was like I spent my last 8 years and now going on 9 years miserable with this government because I didn't like Biden as well. He was
Mm.
a little bit better than Trump, a lot better than Trump,
Oh.
but I was like, so when Kamala was running, I said, well, this is going to give a different prospect, a different opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can be a little better than where
Mm-hmm.
we've been because I spent 8 years miserable. And a lot of people, I know they kind of oblivious, but Biden said himself before he started running that he wished they could implement Jim Crow laws again. And he
Biden
said
said
that.
that?
Yes, he said that. Yes.
That's
Yes. I wish
probably.
I can find it. I wish I can find it, but he said it. He said it. But it's before he ran for president. And I remember hearing that in an interview. And I remember
I'm
seeing
gonna look
like,
that one up.
yeah,
That's.
I got to see if I can see if I can find it again.
Mm,
But I was like, no, I don't want him to be president either. I didn't
mm.
want him to be president. And I definitely didn't want Trump to be president. And he's worse than last time.
Oh my God. Well, now he knows. He learned, and he
Yeah.
surrounded himself
He's
with all those
worse
crazy
than
people.
last time.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, as a black woman, I'm scared.
Yes, I am too. I am too, because now they can just pick up anybody off the street.
Because you're looking at it and
Mm-hmm.
wake up, people.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't about black, it ain't about white, ain't about trans. It's about money. If
Mm-hmm.
you are not one of those 1% billionaires, they don't give a fuck about you.
Mm-hmm. That's what that's what I tell those people.
That they don't care about
They
you.
don't care
And
about you.
we
And they're
fighting
finding out
over it.
now,
We need to
though.
stick together.
Yep, they're
Y'all don't
finding out
understand
now.
that.
They're
I don't
finding
care
it.
if you hate me because of my color. They
Mm-hmm.
don't care about you because you're poor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So get together. SNAP benefits. It's about to end. Hopefully it don't, but more than likely it is. So if you can give any more food banks, whatever you can do, please. People are gonna need it. It's about to be holiday season.
Yep.
Some people are not gonna have no turkey dressing, whatever, to eat. So if you can give a couple more dollars to your food pantry, please think about helping out if you can. And I thank you for talking to me today. Is there anything that you would like to plug or anything?
No, no plugs. No plugs. I can't think of anything off the top of my head anyway. But
Okay. Affiliate of Black Men Believers of Charlotte. She's also the founder of Battle. And I thank you. It's always wonderful talking with you. Hopefully, maybe we can get together and hang out because you won't
yeah,
be on a cruise this year, so I won't see you.
right.
That
Yeah.
was always my time to spend time with you, and
Yeah.
now that won't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe for revival next year. Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna revival.
Oh yeah, I'll go to
I
revival.
would definitely be there.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Well,
All
love
right.
you much.
Love you too. Love you back.
And I thank you everyone for tuning in for this episode. Reminder, forgot to plug this in. Tomorrow I will be on the Kentucky Atheist on Joe's channel, and Robin Webster, who's also was in the stream today, will be also with me as well. That will be 1:00. So tune in to hear me talk with them tomorrow at 1. And I thank everyone for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day and week. Bye, everyone.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride.